DISC. DISC stands for dominance, influential, steadiness, and consciousness. So that's our 4 different general type of personalities, right? And to kind of give you a funny little story on this, so, and this is just a random something. So 4 wives send 4 husbands to go to the store to get a gallon of milk and come back, all right? Your steady shows up, goes there, looks at the milk, starts looking at expiration dates, starts looking at the different sizes of it. See how much of a bargain am I getting for that type of milk? Am I getting enough price per gallon or price per pint or something like that? Next up, your C shows up, your consciousness, and it starts looking around. It's like, wow, look at the label. So it's a golden gallon. Cool. Look at the handle on the thing. It's got little finger handles on it. I think I'm gonna pick that one. And while they're over there making up their mind about what's the prettiest or what the best deal is, red shows up, pushes them both out of the way, your dominance, and it's like, give me some milk. Grabs the first one, it's out. Then your influential, your yellow here, didn't even make it to the gallon milk spot, or didn't even make it to the milk section because the door greeter at the weigh-in says, hey, how's your day? It was like, hey, it was really good. Thanks for asking. How's your family? And then it just started the conversation, and they're still talking. So they've probably been texted 4 times by the wife, like, hey, where's the milk at? And hang on, she bought it, hang on. So kind of thing. She's looking at me because she's thinking, that's you, Joel. So DISC is really cool. It's just a different way that, they're all going to get it done. Eventually the door greeter will get tired of, getting eyed to death, and we'll you'll let them go, and then they'll go back there and buy their milk or whatever. So I first heard about DISC. I was in the military. I've been in for a while. Had no idea about it. I got sent to this little school out here in Germany, the NATO school. Then I had this class called the Intermediate NCO course. And I was like, non-commissioned officer course. So I was like, okay. Before I left, they gave me this test to take. Way more in depth than what you guys just took. It took me about an hour and a half or so. I was just like, what is this mess? But by golly, when I got there, it just clicked because we had to fill out these little charts to kind of see where we are on the personality scale. And anytime we'd ask a question or react a certain way, our instructor would be like, hey, look, he needs more information. So look at the green over here. You see on the chart? I'm like, God, man, get out of my head, dude. So that's where all this came up, and it started with me. Then, of course, we got into, I retired, got out, we started doing the real estate thing. And there's so much of an impact right here because, just your personal relationships, with your friends and your family, co-workers, and just any clients out there that you're trying to talk to. So that's where all that come about. So, like I said, dominance, influence, compliance, and steadiness. So if you're up here on the top scale, you're more of an outgoing type person, your D's and I's. These are the people that feel confident talking in front of people or presenting and doing stuff like that. Your C's and your S's down here, they're a little more reserved. It's going to take a little bit more to get something out of them. They're doing stuff, they're thinking stuff, but they're not. That's not by choice. They're either forced to do it or stuff like that. So also, they're also task-oriented up here towards this side of it. So your D's and C's are more task-oriented. Where over here with your I's and S's, they're more people-oriented. So these people are getting it done. They're, get out of my way. I got to go get the milk. Or what did my C do again? Oh yeah, they were looking at the colors of it and stuff like that. So they're just trying to get it done. However, whatever. And your I's and your S's, they're like talking to people, trying to get it out, how to hit other people to kind of do things. Well, let's see here. And some examples of some dominant personalities. I grew up loving Michael Jordan. I had Bulls jersey. I had to get some Air Jordans when I was a kid. But has anybody watched the documentary on him? What was it called? The Last Dance?
Yes, Last Dance.
Total butthole to work around.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He wants to get it done.
Right.
He's determined, he's driving, ambitious, pioneering, very strong-willed. He don't care what you do, as long as you're playing basketball to the level he thinks you should be at. I don't care if you had to stay over and shoot 24 hours worth of free throws to get it right. If you've missed that one, you better do it, or else you're going to hear from him. Another one here, anybody seen the movie A Few Good Men? Colonel, doggone it, had his name right there in my head. Anyways, he's very much in control. He is, Tom Cruise goes to his base, and he kind of panders with him a little bit, but he's got bigger and better things he needs to be doing because you can't handle his truth, right? Because he's in charge, and it's just that dominant type personality. And it's usually the color red is associated with that. Influential, sociable, optimistic, talkative, polished, enthusiastic, persuasive, warm, poised, trusting, popular, verbal, and independent. So everybody knows Oprah. Oprah, she started with just about nothing and worked her way up to being, one of the first female billionaires in history. Opened her own Oprah network, just about whatever you may think about her personally and all her mess that she does. But anyway, she's been very influential and doing a lot of stuff. And the local national treasure here, Dolly Parton, definitely came from nothing to a lot. And just, very infectious personality, somebody you want to be around. Come on, there we go. Some steady personalities, conservative, loyal, cooperative, predictable, deliberate, reflective, passive, patient, possessive, systematic, resistant to change. They like the norm. They're very steady. They can get it done, they figure out a process, and they stick to it. Don't mess with their day. This may be somebody that you work around or works for you. Give them a process, back up. They got it. So some examples here: Gandhi and of course Jimmy Carter. Compliant personalities: conservative, calculating, low-keyed, stable, dependable, cautious, traditional, neat, systematic, accurate, tactful, and diplomatic. So we have Albert Einstein. Very calculating, very analytical kind of mind over there solving things, and he's so busy that sometimes he was too busy solving things to remember to put his pants on, according to primers and stuff. But and of course, then you have Andy Taylor right here, just very the sheriff, very very laid back, just calm, just kind of has that personality that's kind of not, of course, not in real life, but he's probably more of a D from what I understand in real life, but. In his character here, he plays more of the compliant type personality. And this would have been a lot better on the big screen right up here, so I'll just read some of the strengths of the D personality. So they're a bottom line organizer. They place high value on time because they don't have much of it. Get out of my way, give me my milk, I gotta go because I got other things to do. Challenges the status quo. Innovative, so a lot of entrepreneur types. I was trying to think of some good entrepreneur types. I don't think Elon Musk. I don't think he's more of a D, but
locally, Jonathan Cannell with MedStat.
Well, then we'll get to the I's here. The influential people. They're very creative problem solvers, great encourager. They motivate others to achieve. Positive sense of humor. So they're more the peacemaker, the people person, good salesperson, and great storytelling capabilities or abilities. So they can convey themselves very well. Is anybody finding themselves in these little? Yeah. Some more of the strengths of.
Trace the dad's slave driver to that eye. Well, she's not.
Well, something, D's and I's. So people that are a D are usually a little bit of I, or, they're kind of in there. Or if you're an I, you're a little bit of a driver on that too. So also, the C's can be a little bit more of the S's, and the S's can be more of the C's. They just but you won't find a D who's You won't find a D who is an S or an I that's a C. They don't mix very well. It kind of goes in this reciprocating little pathway right here. This little circular thing right here.
Yeah.
All right. Some strengths of the C. Perspective, the anchor of reality. So they're very well grounded. They're conscientious and even tempered. They don't let themselves get out of control. Thorough in all activities. So if you have somebody that's working on a process, these are your ones. You know, they got that process down. Get out of the way. They're creative thinkers. Their ability to organize, so very organized, and they set long-range goals. Your S's, they're reliable and dependable. They're loyal team workers. They respect authority, a good listener. They're understanding and friendly, a team player, good people skills, and they're balanced. So we don't call them weaknesses. We'll just call them some limitations that some of the personalities may have, because it's it takes a village, right? So these people augmented correctly within your organizations, you'll kill it. So some limitations of the D personality: sometimes they overstep authority, argumentative, get out of my way, I gotta get my milk. They dislike the routine. You know, they want to be out there doing stuff because they're more concerned about the actual, not really the process, but really just getting the achievement done, getting the task done. A little self-absorbed, hard to admit that they're wrong, a little reluctant to delegate. Actually, reluctant to delegate, period. And they could be seen as insensitive or even too bossy sometimes. And then she laughs. All right, so let's get to the I's. And they're more concerned with popularity than tangible results. So, of course it says it like that. Of course they want results, but they're not really concerned about how it gets there. They want to be the influencer, the person they'll find the D that's really going after it and then kind of influence after them. Inattentive to detail, so they may have a problem with organizing because it's just.
That's why I got them those files.
And now the other one. Short attention span because they're moving on to the next. Overuses gestures and facial expressions.
And exclamation points.
And exclamation points. Impulsive and exaggerative. Some of the limitations of it. The C needs to have, they need clear boundaries. They're bound by procedures and policies. They can get bogged down in the details. So this detail-oriented person, they'll start on a process. I find myself doing this all the time. I'll get on the computer, and of course I call it my ADD kicking in. Next thing I know, and I started to go do like maybe put a listing in, and then I saw something else, and then next thing I know, I've got 20 tabs open, and I've just chased some rabbit hole down. I'm like, what did I even start with? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be doing something else. Gets bogged down in details. Prefer not to verbalize feelings, so really they don't. I'll get into some of their other stuff there with that. We'll give in rather than argue, so it's easier just to not argue. Let's just do something else. Right? Suspicious of others and easily depressed, so they can get bogged down and because they're not argumentative, they just kind of repress into themselves. This is just so we're talking limitations. Everybody got strength. So S's, resistance to change as well. Loyal team worker, loyalty to a fault maybe. Sensitive to criticism and confrontation, very non-confrontational. They don't want to argue either. Difficulty establishing priorities. Difficult making quick decisions because they want to know everything about it. They'll lack decisiveness, enthusiasm, energy, and may sacrifice results for harmony. Okay. So the communication style of the different ones, the D's will speak freely. You're going to know what's on their mind. They're good at initiating communication, good at debating, can be sarcastic, and often not good at listening. I's are always enthusiastic, stimulating, can inspire others, and prone to exaggeration, and often not good at listening. Often. The whole time. So your C's are hesitant to talk until they have thought of precisely what to say. You ever been talking to somebody and you just kind of get this look on their face because they're, they're calculating. A D don't see that. D's like, spit it out, Junior. Where the C's like, I'm thinking of what to say.
Yeah. Just send me a text. I gotta go.
Yeah. And the C's are usually a good listener. The S's are quiet. They seldom initiate conversation. Can use wit and humor, and usually a very good listener. So what motivates the different ones? So these are motivated by actions and challenges. Newer challenges and problems to solve, power and authority to take risks and make decisions. So these are things you can do to motivate these different personalities along. Changing environments which they work and play. Results, challenge, and action. Favorite magazine is Money Magazine. On average. The I's, they're motivated by recognition and approval. Flattery, praise, popularity, and acceptance. A friendly environment. Freedom from many rules and regulations. Other people available to handle the details, so that's where you'll build your staff around that kind of person. Recognition, approval, and visibility, and their favorite magazine would probably be like People magazine. Protection and security of the C is about protection, is motivated by protection and security. I'll burn out of time here. I'll finish up on this one right here, and we can dive into this one later on. There's actually some better online tests if anybody's curious about that stuff. C's are motivated by protection and security, and then their S's are motivated by relationship and appreciation. So, I'll hit greatest fears. I'll pass on everybody. These greatest fears being taken advantage of because they've thrown themselves out there a little bit, and they just please don't do it. Being manipulated and losing control because that person has to be in control. The I's, their biggest fear is rejection, being unpopular, or being bored. C, their biggest fear is criticism, being wrong, being misunderstood, or compromising standards because they are all about that process. And the S is loss of security, sudden change, or confrontation. So very non-confrontational, and they're very resistant to change as well. Thank you all for coming out today. We can dive into this later at a different time, maybe get more into the different ones. Like I said, there's some better personality tests out there for this. If you want to implement it in your spot, I'll be happy to forward or connect with and give you some good resources. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.